Welcome to the very first episode of Imperial Order Podcast, the official Star Wars show here on the Interax Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Don Martino, and sitting over to the right is Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Super excited to be here. Super glad to, talk everything Star Wars with you on this new official podcast of the channel. Super excited.
Yeah, you and I have been wanting to get like a podcast together for a while just to talk Star Wars, and so this is really exciting stuff. I'm happy to be here. I really am.
Same.
And we can finally just, talk about the thing I think we both love the most, honestly, and that is Star Wars. And it's great, man, that we just have something like this that honestly brings people together in a way that I've never seen anything else bring people together. I mean, maybe like the MCU and like Spider-Man and all that. I know there's an argument to be made for that, but when a Star Wars movie comes out, and you and I have said this so many times, it's just a completely different thing. It's a completely different experience, and there's nothing else like it. Like, it's something else within itself. You're sitting in the movie theater and it's just its own thing, or you're sitting at home now watching Disney Plus, whatever it may be,
Yeah, it's like whenever the new Star Wars movie comes out, it's like it brings me back to my childhood of like when with the older films when I used to watch those, and just anytime I see a new Star Wars film get released and I go watch in the theater, it kind of just gets me in a happy place because it's what I love, it's what I'm passionate about. So
yeah, man, I agree. And it's so exciting to be here with you talking Star Wars. Finally, we got a podcast on this freaking network that's just Star Wars based, because we've never had it before, but here we are, and it's exciting, and I can't wait to get into some of this stuff. So yeah, man, to start out with, I mean, before we continue, guys, if you're out there, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends. We will be here once a week talking Star Wars on Imperial Order, so let your friends know that Imperial Order is the home for Star Wars content. So that's where they need to go, and I can't wait, man. Can't wait. So something I wanted to start with here is this Mandalorian rumor. It's not official, but it is a rumor that this production has been halted for season 3. Well, from what the story is saying, and I don't know, again, it's not confirmed, but you go look at the fact that they were supposed to, start shooting in October, start production back in last October. Apparently that never actually happened. They just halted it completely and never started production, which kind of scares me a little bit if this rumor is true. But just based on the way that the pandemic is going, I can buy into this. I won't lie to you. This is something I can actually buy into. Yeah, this isn't a ridiculous rumor. This is something I can actually buy.
Yeah, it's just, how bad it is right now. I mean, this Omicron is really screwing with everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised that if this rumor was true and that it actually has been halted. It pains me to say that, and it pains me that it probably is being halted. But the fact of the matter is that COVID's is not the best right now. It's really messing with people. So
yeah. Now the good news is for Star Wars fans out there, we have a lot coming next year, regardless of we have to wait for Mandalorian season 2 or Mandalorian season 3 or not. We have a lot of stuff coming to be excited about, and that was kind of something that I wanted to go over with you too, is everything upcoming in 2022 for Star Wars. And I think that could kind of give us a silver lining here while we're waiting on the Mandalorian season 3, whether that, be in quarter 4 of 2022 or not. We'll see. I hope it does come out by December of next year. I would say that.
Yeah, honestly.
So assuming that we are going to get the Mandalorian season 3, we could start with that. That is one thing we could be excited for. As far as we know, we are supposed to get it in 2022 still. Let's assume this rumor is not true. What are you hoping to see from season 3 of Mandalorian?
Well, Grogu being trained by Luke in the ways of the Force. Him getting his own lightsaber, Grogu. Maybe even seeing some Ahsoka in there too, like joining with Luke and kind of training Grogu in the ways of the Force. This whole Darksaber, conundrum gets resolved, most likely in this next season.
Well, bo-katan is holding on to it right now. Obviously where we left off in season 2, we got Mando struggling to actually take out Bo-Katan to get the Stark saber, or I'm sorry, to fight with Bo-Katan so she could take him out to get the saber. That's
Right.
the big struggle here. That's the big question that's lingering, and that's one of the biggest thoughts on our minds. I can't imagine having to wait till December to figure all this shit out, but
I
we might
know.
have to. That's the thing,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
scary to me to think about that. The other thing, I want to know is how are they going to write around Cara Dune? Obviously Gina Carano now taking off the production, and so now no Cara Dune. So that's
Right.
something that is going to be interesting for fans to see. Is how do you move forward in a post Cara Dune world, in a show where you had a plan with this character, but now we need to take this plan out. How do we write around that? I
Yeah.
think Favreau and
And
Filoni are the guys to do it. Thank God, but.
another one too is Sasha Banks. I mean, she's not going to be in season 3 either. Which it pains me too, just being not only a WWE fan, but the fact that she is also a Star Wars fan and that she really did enjoy doing this, doing this stuff with the Mandalorian. It's gonna be weird to see a season without her part of Bo-Katan's group.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Mandalorian season 3, obviously the thing I'm most excited about at this point,
Same.
coming in 2022. I think they've just done it's a testament to how well the first 2 seasons have gone, and they've built these new stories with these new characters and have made us care about them
It's
so
it's
much in
just
the universe.
and it's just the fact that this is like the best thing that Disney has done with Star Wars too. Is why I'm that much more excited for this. It's what I'm most excited for, really.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
because of how amazing they did.
right. Well, I mean, it also feels like the flagship show to everything else, to connect everything else together. It
Right.
all feels like it
Right.
all is going to come back to Mandalorian. Like Mandalorian's at the core of almost
Right.
everything they're going to do. And so for me, that's what makes the Mandalorian season 3 so special. And that's why I hope to God it does come next year at some point, even if I have to wait till December to get it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. Very excited for that. Obviously, I love Pedro Pascal in the role. Can't wait to see him reprise Din Djarin once again. I think we're all kind of waiting on that. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. But the other things coming in 2022. I mean, one thing we'll start out with here is Bad Batch season 2. Bad Batch season 1, I quite enjoyed myself. I thought it was good.
Same.
It wasn't like
Same.
amazing, but it was good. I thought it was a very solid Star Wars animated show. Definitely, I'd put it under Clone Wars and Rebels still. I think that those, definitely beat
Yeah.
it. But I did like Bad Batch a lot. I thought that this the character of Omega is very
Omega,
fun to
yeah.
watch, very fun to
Yeah.
follow. So what do you think that we have in store for Omega this next season?
Ooh. It's something big for sure. What exactly? No idea, but
Yeah.
I'm just super excited to see what's to come of her in the next season, because I know it's gonna be it's gonna be based on, I mean, it kind of was in the first season. I just feel like it's gonna be a lot more based around her in this second season. So I'm really excited to see what's in store for her
Yeah,
in
I
this
mean,
next season.
we got that cloning facility teased at the end of it that was on the mountain, and so like that's one of the
Right.
things that it's got to come into play big time. And I think that in Omega's search for her past, which I think is what a lot of the season's going to be based around, we will see her. It'll all kind of come down to that area, to that cloning facility, and I think that something
I
going
feel
on there is going to give her the answers that she's looking for.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be kind of like the whole Din Djarin Grogu. I feel like they're gonna try and clone her because she is that special. It's gonna be another type of, like, the Bad Batch is gonna try to protect her from getting cloned by these bad guys, at the same time helping her get answers about her past and like how she came to be and stuff like that.
Well, I
Which
think even then the Empire was already starting to plan Palpatine's contingency plan, or starting to make preparations for the contingency plan if he were to pass away. And so that's why, we have Omega that they're after. We have Grogu that they're after. They want their blood
right.
because they're going to try to take the blood, clone it, and,
Make him an evil version. Yeah.
make a Palpatine, make a Snoke, whatever it might be. Because obviously now we just have so many blanks to fill in, and I think that Bad Batch is just only going to further add to the gaps that we have, and I think it's going to start to make a lot more sense once we see the Bad Batch play out. So Bad Batch season 2, that's something to look forward to next year. I'm very excited about that. I mean, any other elements of the Bad Batch that you want to see happen in season 2?
Maybe I forget his name. The guy from the Bad Batch who turned bad. I mean, I guess seeing him
Oh, right.
kind of see him turn back to good and like join them again in in their forces and help them along the way because he's very skilled and he was like a pretty big asset to the team.
Blanking on his name too, but yes, that is one thing that I would like to also see is him. You know, get his sort of we kind of already started down the path of his redemption arc, you know, on the last season, but he kind of was softened a little bit by Omega and that whole thing going on with her. I unfortunately just think that his path is with the Empire, though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will give him redemption, but it seems to me that he made his choice at the end of season 1 that his path is going to be with the Empire. But I do think it is going to become interesting if he is faced to battle the Bad Batch once again, because I think he will have hesitation.
Because I feel like what could also happen is that maybe he becomes a spy for the Bad Batch and he kind of just returns to the Empire and he's like feeding the Bad Batch like clues and like giving them information on like what to kind of have the Bad Batch like one foot ahead of the Empire. Maybe that could be something cool.
I feel like more specifically with season 2, what they're going to try to play with his story is if he faces off Hunter, it's going to be a lot like Kylo Ren and Rey, where Kylo Ren, you know, he knows his job is to, you know, get rid of Rey or bring Rey to Snoke, but there's a hesitation there always to let Snoke kill her. And I think that's going to be kind of the relationship between him and the Bad Batch is to, you know, the Emperor is going to want the Bad Batch, but he's going to be hesitant to bring them into to the Emperor. So if he does get a redemption arc, I would like it to be on that Kylo Ren level in The Last Jedi where he takes out Snoke or something like that. Although, then again, he's not going to take out the Emperor. Cool. We know the Emperor lives, but you know what I'm saying? Something along those lines where we get something cool like that.
Right.
But it does seem to me that in this last season, he did make his choice. He is going to stay with the Empire, sadly. So that's just, yeah, unfortunate. But Crosshair, right? Isn't that who it is? Crosshair.
Crosshair
is who we're referring to. Yeah. Crosshair. So I think Crosshair made his choice and he's going to stay with the Empire. Well, we'll see, man. It would be cool to get some type of epic redemption. But, you know, for me, one of my biggest complaints of Star Wars is I do feel like they have gone down the redemption path so many times with their villains. I would like to see one villain just stay bad, you know, even if he has some hesitancy. I think that's good character to give your villain sort of hesitancy. But if he can just stay bad, if Crosshair can just stay bad, I think it might be a little bit refreshing if he stays in the Empire, even if he has that struggle when running into the Bad Batch. So that's, you know, something that's but I look forward to the series regardless. I think it's going to be a fun season. I think I hope it's better than the last season. One of the things another thing I would say about season 2 was one of the great things that they did in season 1 was they did bring back familiarity to it. There was like the planet from, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was from Jedi Fallen Order, and they went there. I like that. I like the worlds. All the different worlds they visited was always kind of something fun. I do hope they expand.
Also, you know, seeing Cad Bane again was pretty cool.
Yeah, Cad Bane was cool.
I enjoyed that. Yeah,
that was awesome.
And the other, I'm pretty sure the other assassin, the girl assassin.
We got Hera Syndulla as well. We got to see a little bit of her childhood, so that was cool. Some cool building on the world. Cool. We got to see Kanan Jarrus and in the beginning of it, and you know, seeing his kind of how he ended up, how his master fell in Order 66, and him kind of running off and. That was back when he was going by the name of Caleb Doom, but it was still cool.
I feel like we're probably feel like we might see some of him too in this next season. I hope
that would be very cool. Honestly, I would like for them to build on that. I thought he would come back in the first season, and they never really followed up on it. So, something else to build on in season 2 for sure. And also, you know, something I wanted to see in the first season that they never went to. I always thought would have been a cool touch would have been Jedha from Rogue One. I always kind of wanted to see Jedha revisited. Seeing those old. How it was like an old kyber crystal factory almost over there. That's something I would like to see them revisit. So maybe something like that in the Bad Batch season 2, because one thing again that they did right in the first season was all the different worlds that they visited and so many different things. So I enjoyed those elements. So yeah. I'm sorry, which assassin? Oh, Fennec Shan was also in this first season. We would like to see more of her. And tying back into the Book of Boba Fett, which is on right now, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Because that's another thing that we're going to get next year is Book of Boba Fett season 2. Now it's kind of hard to raise excitement. I would assume we're going to get a season 2 next year. I don't know. That's not confirmed, but it's kind of hard to be crazy excited about it when we haven't seen how season 1 ends. So it's kind of hard to speculate on what would happen for season 2. But I know, and we'll get into some spoiler discussion later, folks, on Boba Fett season 1. But based on, the excitement, based on the way Boba Fett season 1 is going, do you think there should be a one and done? Do you think there should be more seasons of Boba Fett based on how it's going, or what?
No, I mean, again, I don't know if this will happen in the episodes that are left in this season, but if it doesn't, something cool to see in the next season would be some episodes with Mando, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them reunited again because their chemistry in the episode they're in Mandalorian were really good. So I'd really like to see them reunited again in either future episodes from this season or in the next one.
Absolutely. And we could get a Boba Fett season 2 next year. It's possible, but I think with the way that it seems like they can't really get Mando 3 off the ground, I would guess if we do see a season 2 of Boba Fett, 2023. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
That'd be my assumption. But
this is because, I mean, if they've had to halt if they had to halt production for Mando, I highly doubt that they'd be able to do anything for Book of Boba Fett right now either.
Yeah. I doubt it.
So,
but I'm going to imagine that Bad Batch season 2 is kind of how we start 2022. But I think the thing that will get
since it is an animation show, so it's easier to get that out. So I feel like we could be getting that beginning of sometime in this 2022 maybe, or
I would speculate that's how they'll kick the year off. And what we'll get shortly after that, and I know we're both excited about this one for sure, is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's going to be, that's the thing that I think, this is the No Way Home of Star Wars, I feel like, but it's on television. That's the difference. It's like
Spider-Man No Way Home of Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, just to see Ewan McGregor come reprise his role for the first time in over 15 years now as Obi-Wan Kenobi is such a revelation, and I'm
Hayden
so
Christensen
excited for
as Darth Vader is going to be cool too.
Yeah.
And any other characters that are in it too, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
People, now I was gonna say, now that we saw that Chewbacca wearing Book of Boba Fett, there's speculation saying that he's gonna be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as well. They're gonna do like something with that.
Oh, Chrysanthemum. Yeah, and I can see that because I think that makes a lot of sense.
Because they had a fight in the comics.
They did, yes, in the canon comics. Yes, they have a past relationship already built in the canon. It kind of makes sense to bring something like that forward. I like that. I think that works
100%.
out if you bring him in. Something else I think that we will get that'll tie it all together or tie everything else all together is I do think we will see Ahsoka Tano in one iteration or another in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I think that has to happen as well. It just, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, Ahsoka, last we saw her, I think this will kind of be the same way that the Ahsoka series, which I don't think we'll see till 2023, but the same way the Ahsoka series is going to kind of follow up on the Rebels series, I think that the Obi-Wan show might follow up on the Clone Wars. I think we'll start to see.
We'll say because Hayden Christensen's also announced to be Anakin in the Ahsoka series.
So and Obi-Wan, cool and Obi-Wan. And
it's gonna be really cool to see all three of them in both shows. So it's gonna be really cool.
Well, that leads me to my next point, which is I think we're going to see a lot of flashbacks to the Clone Wars time period, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen film new scenes to fill in some of that time between the prequels, and we get to see that now in live action. Obviously, you have the Clone Wars series, which does fill in the gap between episodes 2 or Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, but not in live action form. We've never really been able to see that, so I think that that's something that we can absolutely expect, and I think Ahsoka will probably be a part of those flashbacks as well. Hopefully they get Ashley Eckstein to play the young Ahsoka. She does great voice work as the character on the show, so I think that might be where they're heading. So I would be very excited to see something like that. But
some Qui-Gon Jinn in there as well.
Yeah, that's really the other thing. Well. I think Liam Neeson is full of shit. I think he's absolutely an Obi-Wan. I don't think. Oh, do they still make those? That's what he says when he's asked about it. So it's like, come on,
that's bullshit. He knows.
He knows. He just did a voice for Rise of Skywalker. That was just 2 years ago. You can't just try to bullshit your way around that.
Exactly.
So I think
that was
Qui-Gon.
That was like That was 3 years ago, and you're saying that they still make those?
Yeah. Yeah,
Of
him and
course.
his little Irish accent. I
Gosh.
think we absolutely see a Force Ghost for Qui-Gon Jinn, and I think it's if this was something that was playing in the theater, it would get the massive pop. You know what I mean? But it's not in the theater. But I'll still.
We could be getting Yoda Force Ghosts as well in this for sure.
Well, you wouldn't
I
need to.
think.
Yoda's alive. I mean, Yoda's on Dagobah, so
Oh
at
yeah,
this point,
true.
so you wouldn't even need to do a Force Ghost.
I feel like we'll be seeing Yoda as well in this show. I feel.
Well, that's something I would like to follow up on too in Obi-Wan, and it's in the right time period. Is similarly to how in the Clone Wars Qui-Gon was able to come to Yoda. I would like to see Obi-Wan tell Obi-Wan about, or I'm sorry, I would like to see Qui-Gon tell Obi-Wan about Dagobah. I went to Dagobah, I made contact with Master Yoda. And like that would be very cool, because that would also start to tie in the gap of when Obi-Wan is talking to Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, where he's like, Luke, you will go to the Dagobah system. You know what I mean? So now we have that knowledge.
So yeah, so we can. I was gonna say we can see like how he found out about the Dagobah system.
Yeah,
who told him and all that. Yeah,
that would be amazing. That would be
100%,
amazing.
100%.
And so I think that stuff like that is what I think we'll get. I don't think they're going to spare any time when it comes to filling in those gaps between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And I think that this is going to be something we will not be able to watch the series without Obi-Wan. I think Obi-Wan is just going to feel absolutely necessary after we see it. I have full trust in Deborah Chow directing this whole thing. I think that her 2 episodes of Mandalorian season 1 were phenomenal. She was awesome, and she proved that she knows Star Wars. She understands it. And if you guys ever go back and you watch those, I know you did, the Mandalorian behind the scenes, and you listen to Deborah Chow, she's there to learn. She's there to learn, and she absorbed like a sponge all this Star Wars knowledge from Dave, and I think she's going to carry that forward.
That's I want to be like that's what I want to do. I'm inspired by her to do exactly the same. I would love to do in the future at some point a Star Wars show. That'd be sick. Or just film a couple episodes from a Star Wars show in the future. That'd be really sick.
Absolutely, it would be so cool just to even have that opportunity. And Deborah Chow is somebody who took that opportunity in stride, and she didn't, she didn't spare any of her time to make sure that she was just.
The first episode was like one of the longest ones.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So she did a good job, and so I hope she destroys this Obi-Wan thing, and when it's all said and done, give her a feature film. After it's all said and done.
That'd be sick.
If Patty Jenkins ain't working out Rogue Squadrons, well, we got Deborah Chow. I mean, we could talk about Rogue Squadron in a bit, even though that's not till 2023. But something else that we got, or other things that we're gonna see. I'm sorry, in Obi-Wan is Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. The fight we never saw, between the two, that happened between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and we've never been able to see this fight, nor did we have knowledge of it. But now this is something we can absolutely say for certain. We've seen the concept art of it. We've been promised this rematch between these guys, and so that's going to be. Excuse me, that's going to be exciting. And based on the concept art, they are back on Mustafar fighting again. And so that is something that I think is just so ambitious of them.
That's cool, because, it was Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, but not in his suit. But now we're going to get it again, and it's going to be really cool.
And I'm just so excited because of the way that a lot of these new filmmakers in Star Wars, and not that they didn't do a great job before in the Revenge of the Sith fight, but some of the choreography that we've been getting out of these, you say what you will about the new Star Wars projects, so the choreography for the lightsaber stuff has been top notch. It's been the best stuff coming out of these new movies and whatever. So I'm so excited to see this new sort of style and choreography and camera work kind of utilized into an Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight. I think it's going to be epic and brutal, and I can't wait to see where it goes, because we know that one doesn't take the other out, because they're both alive by the time we get to New Hope. So I wonder how it all concludes. Does it conclude in a conversation? How's it all happen? So it's a big piece of missing information, and again, it's going to be what makes this feel so much more necessary to the series when we rewatch it. We cannot watch.
Imagine we get an Obi Darth Maul like from the Rebels scene fight.
Obi Darth Maul, I don't know. It'd be wild. I don't know if it would work, only because the way they set it up in Rebels, the only thing with that is the way they set it up in Rebels. I know everybody wants to see Maul, but the way they set it up in Rebels, it wouldn't work for me, because the way they set it up is as if they hadn't fought since Clone Wars. So that's, I don't know how well it would work. But you could, maybe. I don't know. It'd be wild. But I do think that Kenobi is going to be one of the best Star Wars things. If not, it could. This what's so exciting about Obi-Wan Kenobi is it really does have that potential to be the best Star Wars thing Disney's put out. And so
100%. Yeah,
that's, you know,
100%.
for me, it's been Mandalorian so far, I'll be honest. But
Same,
you know, I think that this has the potential to even top that. So sign me up. I'm all into Obi-Wan, but you know, any of these things have that potential. You never know what's going to be the next big Star Wars.
Yeah, that is true.
And,
I mean, like Ahsoka could, like Obi-Wan could become the best thing, but then Ahsoka could top that too. Like
exactly. Oh, I have high hopes for Ahsoka with Dave Filoni backing it, and yeah, I have such high hopes.
Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, man, is
yeah. I mean, you know, the thing about Ahsoka, and again, this is a 2023 project, I would assume. The thing about Ahsoka is, you know, Dave Filoni's got one shot to bring this character to live action. I don't think he's going to screw it up. I think he's going to be like, this is my chance to show what I can do.
If anyone knows how to do it best, it's Dave Filoni, 100%.
Yeah, he's going to go all out with that. So very exciting.
He's not going to waste any time either. No, definitely not.
But yeah, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Whew, I mean, I'm
so excited.
There's so much riding on it. You know what I mean? And it's got a really good cast outside of Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. I mean, hopefully Liam Neeson. We got Kumail Nanjiani joining the group. I love Kumail's work, whether it be The Big Sick or Eternals. I think that guy is just a very good up-and-coming actor. I love Kumail Nanjiani so much. So I'm so excited that he was able to join the cast for Obi-Wan. I don't know what he'll be doing in there, but could be a lot of fun. You know, some of the other thing about the Obi-Wan series that I think should be utilized in it is definitely they need to take some of the pages. If you ever read, and we got to do this at some point together at some point, like, and we'll come back here and review some of them, but the Star Wars line of comics, the main line that came out in 2015, you know, they had the Journals of Obi-Wan, which are, you know, they're canon. And if you read the Journals of Obi-Wan, there are some really great stories in there between him and Uncle Owen. And so I want to see that relationship play out. Joel Edgerton reprising his role as Uncle Owen, who we saw in Attack of the Clones last. And so I'm so excited. And Bonnie Tyson coming back as Emperor. So.
I was going to say, yeah, they're both confirmed in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be really cool to see.
I'm so excited to see how that relationship plays. Obviously, Owen and Obi-Wan, you know, they end up having tension by the time we hear about them in New Hope. And, you know, Uncle Owen want nothing to do with crazy old Obi, you know, crazy old Ben Kenobi. So that's exciting, man. That's exciting. And I think
that's what's weird is apparently Ice Cube's also in the cast for some reason.
Oh, that's right. Ice Cube is in the cast. That is correct. Actually, I did hear that. So we'll see what they do with all these guys. It'll be interesting.
Ice Cube's kind of a weird one there, but
definitely an out there choice.
I'm excited to see what they do with him and what he does.
Yeah, definitely. And then the final thing I'll say on Obi-Wan, the thing I think we can absolutely expect is young Luke Skywalker, little boy Luke. And I think that that's going to be very cool, very moving to see. Before he was even a Jedi, before he even knew Ben Kenobi, I think we will see the young Luke Skywalker, and that's going to call it fan service or whatever you will. Sign me up. I want to see that. I think that's very. It's a time period in Luke Skywalker's life we never really got to see. Obviously, one of the most touching things in Rebels is, you know, after Obi-Wan takes out Darth Maul, you know, because he's there to protect Luke, you know, and he takes out Maul in one shot. It's not like a big fight. I love the way that was done in Rebels. And then after the fact, you see him just, you know, ride up to the house in Tatooine, and you just see young Luke, you know, running across the sands of Tatooine, going back to the home and seeing Aunt Beru. I would love to see something like that utilized in live action. And so, yeah, it's just, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. Cause that is Obi-Wan's purpose there. He needs to look after Luke. He needs to make sure, you know, he only goes down the path he needs to go down when he's ready. And so, Yeah, can't wait, dude. Obi-Wan Kenobi, sign me up,
Same.
put it on the
Yeah,
list.
honestly.
I think there's a lot there to unpack. 6 episodes. I don't know how they're gonna do it. These better be 52 minutes apiece at least. Yeah, man, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, same, honestly.
So the next project I think that we will get also, next year in 2022 is we will get Andor, season 1, and that's another thing I'm very excited about. So for those of you who don't know, when Rogue One was in production, in Gareth Edwards still gets the credit on that movie for directing it, but that production went to shit midway through it. And even though they still credit Gareth Edwards for the directing credit, Tony Gilroy was actually the one to come in and finish up the directing and fix that movie to become one of the best Star Wars movies they've released, and so Rogue One is a hit, man. There's no doubt about it. And so Tony Gilroy coming in to do this Andor series, and he wants to make it the same way he went about, doing Rogue One, or the same way they went about doing Rogue One. Sign me up again, dude. This is another project I can't
honestly,
wait for.
I'm super excited to see this, man. I'm ready to see where they go with it and everything.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be one of their more ambitious. I think I'm hearing like 9 episodes for this, so this is going to be one of their more. It's going to be big. It's going to be ambitious. The production value on this, I think this is going to be probably their most expensive series to date. They're not going to be using, all that stagecraft technology like they have on the other shows. So now we're going to be shooting a lot on location, which I always respect. I always go back to that Robert Rodriguez episode of Boba Fett, where he was like, I don't want to use the stagecraft, I want to go to an actual location and shoot, and just the beauty in that was awesome.
100%.
Just to see, you could tell it was just done with such care, and I think that Tony Gilroy will bring that same care to Andor. But I love that Cassian Andor character from Rogue One, man, and I've always wanted to learn more. I was my biggest problem with him in Rogue One is we don't know enough.
True.
This series is going to change that. It'll change our perspective on that. So that's exciting to me. This is something I can't wait for. Cassian Andor, or Diego Luna reprising his role as Cassian Andor.
Of course.
Alan Tudyk, interestingly enough, has come out and
K2SO.
said he's not playing K2SO in season 1. He's not going to in season 1. So maybe season 2. That's what he says. I don't know, but can we believe anybody anymore? So
we've got Stellan Skarsgård in the cast.
That's right. Great actor.
We've got the lady was Mon Mothma back as well.
Yes. Oh gosh, what's her name? Oh man,
I can't pronounce this, so I haven't tried. Genevieve O'Reilly.
Yeah, Genevieve O'Reilly. Thank you. So she's also going to be reprising her role, which just makes so much sense. You can't do a rebellion show and not have Mon Mothma involved.
We've got Adria Arjona also confirmed in the cast.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
She's also going to be in Morbius.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So
to see where they go with this show.
Well, I think we're going to see Cassian go from, he's going to kind of take Jyn Erso's route a little bit. I think he's going to be rebellious, but he won't be a rebel. He won't be fighting for the rebel cause at first. I think we're going to see him, become a rebel. And he's going to have his own ways of doing things. And that's one of the things I'm most interested to see, because when you look at Cassian Andor's way of doing things in Rogue One, it's different than a lot of the other rebels. He's a run and gun, get the job done type of guy, no matter the cost. And so that's something I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see why he is the way he is. I think that's what the series is going to mainly focus on. It's going to give us so much more development for this character, but I'm excited, and I'm excited to see a story like this, man. Really. And it's going to be one of those that, obviously the Force comes into play in every Star Wars thing, regardless if it's, lightsabers or whatnot, so the Force will be there, but it'll be very far removed from the Force also. So we'll have that nice contrast from Obi-Wan Kenobi with Andor, seeing as
wow, they're actually going to have 12 episodes for Andor.
12. See, okay,
yes.
See, that's very ambitious.
I just saw a report saying that Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that they are filming a 12-episode series.
Wow. Okay, so this is Disney Plus's, in whether you take the Marvel stuff or not. I mean, it's their most ambitious show, live action show. Seeing as how they're going to do 12 episodes, it's a lot, but it's gonna fill the time. That's going to be the nice thing, is it'll fill the time. Hopefully, leading right up to the Mandalorian season 3. So we'll have a really nice, we'll have a nice amount of time to where we have something to watch Star Wars wise.
We'll have a lot to watch by the time Mandalorian season 3 comes.
Yeah, so
for sure. I mean, we still have the episodes of Book of Boba Fett left, and then we have all these other projects that we're talking about.
Yeah.
That are coming this year that we'll have to watch until the 3rd season of Book of Boba Fett. So,
yeah,
or Mandalorian, sorry.
Yeah.
3, yeah.
And if these shows, they do well, they will get second seasons. I think Andor is definitely up for a second season.
100%.
I think already they're going to greenlight that.
I think Obi-Wan might greenlight a second.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll have to see where they take the story and what's in the plan and all that, but it could, it could get a second season. And
Book of Boba Fett is most likely going to get a second too.
Probably 2023, along with Ahsoka, will start in 2023. And yeah, it's exciting, man. 2022, though, is going to be the year of Star Wars. We also, not a series, but we have Star Wars Celebration coming back this year in 2022.
We need to watch that, react to that for sure.
Yeah, because that is, that's exciting, man. I can't wait to see what they have in store. I'm assuming that's when we'll get the Obi-Wan trailer. I don't know. I thought Boba Fett would have come out on Disney Plus Day, but they surprised us early with that trailer. So who knows? But I would assume that's where we would get an Obi-Wan trailer finally, is a Star Wars Celebration. We'll see. But that'll be coming around in May. So I'm very excited to get around to that, man, because I think that is where we're going to learn a lot about what's in store, what the plan is. We'll hear a lot more about some of these new shows. We'll see Rosario Dawson get up on that stage to talk about Ahsoka with Dave Filoni, and that's exciting. I know that we're going to have that at least, and man, I just can't wait for all this stuff. And yeah, man, I do hope they announce something else as well, because now we're kind of at a loss with the Rangers of the New Republic show too. That was supposed to come out. Now they've canceled it officially, so no more Rangers of the New Republic. And so I'm interested to see if they have anything planned to replace it. Hopefully there is something, so that's another thing that we can look forward to, maybe, is a new show getting announced. I'm also looking forward to seeing what the development is on this Lando series. I want to know if that's still in play. That to me is going to be Donald Glover hopefully coming back to reprise Lando, and maybe we'll get the Kira and Maul story finally in there. It just makes sense. It's going to be kind of a Crimson Dawn type series. So Lando is something I'm looking forward to as well. I just want to know where it's at in development. So because we haven't really heard much in a while. So they just kind of dropped that news, and it kind of came and went like a fart in the wind. So haven't heard much lately. But the another animated show that's coming around the pike, it's going to be Droid Stories, or a Droid Story.
Droid Story, yeah. With following the lives of C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. One more thing in 2022 that I think is absolutely something we're going to get here, though, is Star Wars Visions Season 2. Which you and I watched Star Wars Visions, and I think that we were both pretty surprised by how good it actually was. I mean, it turned out to be really great. A bunch of different Japanese anime storytellers coming in and putting their own spin on Star Wars, and they just did a really good job with that. It was so much fun, so compelling to watch, and I think they will do a season 2 of that. So that's something we can look forward to this year as well.
Honestly, I have the book for the character from the first episode,
Ronan, right? Yeah, I haven't popped it open yet, but I do have it as well. It's hard for me to get into stuff that's not canon anymore, because I try to keep up to date with that mostly. But yeah, but maybe they'll make that Ronan character canon at some point. Who knows? I mean, because that is a really good character. That show was really good, dude.
That first episode was so sick.
It was. There was so many good episodes to it, and yeah, I'm down to see more, man. I like what they did with that. It was just a fun little kind of thing that wasn't really attached to anything, so you didn't really have to sit there and try to make the connections or anything like that. It was just kind of turn your brain off and watch some Star Wars type of animated show. So
they've just announced the lead role for the Acolyte.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, breaking news here, folks. Anyway, what do you got?
Amandla Stenberg.
Never heard of him.
For lead role, never either.
All right, so that's a series too that we could talk about. It's not 2022, probably 2023. The Acolyte is a show that I'm very much looking forward to. Obviously this is going to be the first Sith-centric show that we've ever had, or really Sith-centric anything in live action, which you and I know have been kind of begging for a very
Yeah.
long time, and just something that is sorely missing in Star Wars, whether it be in the George Lucas era of Star Wars or since Disney bought it. We just don't have a lot of Sith-centric stuff. Maybe with the exception of a couple episodes like Clone Wars here and there, or whatever it may be. We've had a couple of those, but Sith-centric stuff is just not, we don't have like a full project based around the Sith. And so I am so excited for the Acolyte coming, taking place at the end of the High Republic era, and just, kind of showing what I think is just going to be the rise of the Sith. I think that Darth Plagueis will make his debut in live action in that show too. I just have a really good feeling about that, whether it be the end of season 1 or whatever. I think he's going to play a big part, and that's something that Star Wars fans have been begging for a very long time, is Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, there's a leak here about Acolyte, how the main character's name is going to be Aura, not to be confused with Aura Singh, the bounty hunter.
Okay. All right. So yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, that's something else to look forward to. The coming hopefully by 2023.
That it's gonna be, there's gonna be like well, this is just a report. Obviously, Star Wars: The Acolyte leaks reveal a surprising Sith versus Jedi struggle.
Okay. Well, cool.
Because it seems like the show is gonna be about this character who's like conflicted between light and dark side.
All right, I'm in.
Same.
So exciting, man. Exciting. Something else we could talk about too is gaming. Star Wars games are, obviously this year is probably going to be a big one. I would think. Lucasfilm now finally acquiring their rights back from, and making and taking things into their own hands, and having a bunch of different companies.
Wait, hold on.
Making games.
Yeah, no, sorry. So Amanda Stenberg, she was the girl from Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, really? Okay.
The black girl, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, gaming.
Not a movie I was fond of, but whatever. She might do well here. I don't know. We'll see. Cool. Good news. But yeah, anyway, so gaming is something that, we could talk about, because now Lucasfilm kind of taking their games into their own hands. It's not an EA exclusive thing for Star Wars gaming. So we got a bunch of different companies just, on gaming now. And so it'll be a lot of fun to see what comes of that. I think 2022 could be a big year for Star Wars gaming. So we do have Knights of the Old Republic remake. I don't think it comes out this year. I think that's next year, but still, that's something fun to look forward to. The big one that was a big surprise to everybody, Eclipse is going to be awesome. That trailer was sick. It's going to be awesome. So I'm very excited for Star Wars Eclipse, man. This looks like, the most adult Star Wars thing we're probably ever going to have. I mean, you're getting vibes of Mandalorian, but you're also getting vibes of Dune in there. So I'm not sure what's in store for it, but I'm excited. I think that game is going to tie right into the Acolyte. I'll tell you that. I think it is. I think there's going to be a big tie between that game and the Acolyte that we can look forward to. And I'm it's funny. I mean, I have a hard time getting into these High Republic books, but damn, I mean, the series, the Acolyte, and if we're talking about this game, Eclipse, I mean, give me some High Republic if that's how it's going to be. I mean,
it says here that the Knights of the Old Republic game will have, the remake will feature 2 combat modes.
Nice. Right.
And it may release in 2023.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2023. But yeah, that's an exciting one to think about too. So another one that we don't know, we haven't heard developments on, but I'm assuming we're probably going to get at least news on it in 2022 is Jedi Fallen Order 2. Jedi Fallen Order is a great game, and I think everybody's been kind of looking forward to a sequel to that and a follow-up. The ending obviously leading up to a cliffhanger with that Cal Kestis character, so we just all kind of want to see where it goes. And honestly, a really good character, really great story to add to Star Wars lore. There's things about that game that I definitely think need to be improved upon before doing the sequel. I would like to see another
game that I was kind of looking forward to is Star Wars Hunters.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we have that coming in 2022 as well. That's going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive, I believe.
And no, it's Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, that trailer was interesting too. That was another one that kind of dropped.
I'll be downloading that on my Samsung and playing that for sure.
Yeah, that looked fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to Jedi Fallen Order, though, there were a couple points I wanted to make on the sequel, because I think a couple things you need to improve upon for the sequel is definitely the ability to travel more, to travel to more planets. We really only got like 5 planets that you can go to in the first Jedi Fallen Order. And so it just, the replayability of that just kind of lacked.
They need
So
to
I think
make,
they did that.
they need to do like a Assassin's Creed Odyssey type map for Star Wars. That would be sick.
Yeah.
You could travel to like, because like an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can travel to like 20 different islands. So they should make it like you can travel to, it's like a map like that, but for Jedi Fallen Order. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I love those Assassin's Creed games. So yeah, I think
That's probably my favorite franchise video game
it's
of
really
all
good.
time.
It's really
Honestly,
consistently good. So
like
yeah.
I'm still playing Odyssey to this day, and it's my least favorite. The one that I've played the least is definitely Black Flag, but all the other ones have been incredible.
You didn't like Black Flag?
Nah,
I played
too
the
much,
shit out of that game.
too much boat ship fights.
I love Black Flag. I don't know what you're talking about. I played the shit out of that thing, man. I couldn't stop playing Black Flag when it came out. It was awesome.
I think Brotherhood was my favorite.
Crazy to think about how long ago Black Flag came out, because that was like one of the first.
That was
games
6 years ago.
One of the first games I got in the Xbox One, so it was a long time ago. And yeah,
that was like this. I think it was like the second or third game that I got for my. Because the very first game I got I got 2 games on my Xbox One. My Xbox was a Battlefield 5 bundle, or was it Battlefield 1? It was one of those two. I think it was Battlefield 1, and then I also got FIFA with it. So I think Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, or did I get that on the 360? I got it on one of those consoles. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. Speaking of Battlefield, I'm hoping EA is doing some development on Battlefront 3. I think that's something that we all want to see, because I mean, it would mean a lot, because
has that even been like confirmed that they're going to release?
No, it's not been confirmed. But the thing that I think would be massive about it is, even like in the canon, the pre-Disney era Battlefronts, I mean, the classic Battlefront games never got a Battlefront 3, and I think it would be very sad if this never got a Battlefront 3. And something I would like to see from a Battlefront 3, a Star Wars Battlefront 3, is for them to incorporate an Ahsoka Tano, incorporate an Asajj Ventress. There's so many playable characters that they just missed out on in this last one. So I think that
apparently, there's a report here according to Insider. I don't know if Insider is reliable or not, but I mean, all these sources are also saying that there's not going to be a Battlefront 3 only because it's too expensive to make.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
You got turned on because it takes 20% more sales to make the same money. Oh God.
I don't know about that, because the first Battlefront that they made is still one of the highest selling games of all time. So I don't know. But so they make their money back. Trust me. But the thing that I would say about a new Battlefront is all the fact that they've come out and they said, we were planning on doing Ahsoka, we were planning on doing Asajj Ventress as playable characters, and they never got to see that.
I mean, you can kind of just add those to Battlefront 2, the new version.
You can through a mod, so you have to be playing on your PC, but you have to. Yeah, so we never really got to see that.
But I mean, we could still do that though.
No, they're done with servicing that game. That's been confirmed. They're not going to do anymore. But yeah,
Okay.
If they do, trust me, I'd be thrilled if tomorrow they announce, hey, we're going to start service back up on Battlefront 2. And one of the things with the Battlefront 2 game that's been making it so, I mean, it has been staying alive. I mean, there are a lot of fans making mods for it that are, one that I saw recently that got added was private matches that never got, added by the developers, but the fans have taken it upon themselves to make a mod where you can actually create private matches if you're playing on PC. So, that's something that's cool. And the fact that the game still has a little bit of life left, gives me hope that we either get Battlefront 3 or they continue service on Battlefront 2. So, that's exciting. But yeah, hopefully Battlefront 3 is in the works or something, and they're talking about it. I hope it's a conversation that EA is having, but we'll see. But those are that's pretty much it for gaming and anything coming up. But Boba Fett so far has been good. So let's talk about Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett is finally here.
Woof.
It is the thing. We're in the thick of it now. So let's talk a little bit about that. We're going to get into some spoilers on this. So if you guys haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett yet, tune out now. But Jose and I are going to talk about yeah, Boba Fett from here on out. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining if you're tuning out. But yeah, so this last episode we got to watch together, and I loved it quite a bit. I thought it was really entertaining, and the thing I really liked about it was definitely the fact that it kind of added some new stuff to Star Wars in a way. To me, I actually thought that the tone of it was different. The style of the action was a little bit different than we'd seen before. It kind of had this like sort of a horror vibe to it when that Wookiee came in, Chrysanthemum, and took Boba right out of his bacta tank. That was
and then
really
again,
awesome.
Also, it just gave me more of that mafia vibe too, with him getting those half human, half droid kids to join his team, and help him find the Wookiee. It kind of just gave me that whole mafia vibe, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, the mafia vibes are strong with this one. That's for sure, because now we're really starting to get into that story. This one was a little less flashbacky, although the one thing I would say is episode 2 was one I liked better.
I mean, it was my favorite of the 3. I'd have to probably say.
Yeah, I thought Steph Green did a terrific job with that part of it, and just going back and filling in those gaps of Boba Fett between Return of the Jedi, Mandalorian season 2, and just seeing what he's been up to all that time was really fun, and honestly just added a whole new level of respect to the Tusken Raiders that I just hadn't had in the past. And that was something I loved about
we just saw them, because we just saw them as like bad guys, but then actually getting this whole backstory that they're actually like really nice if you're nice to them and like get to know them and stuff, help them out as well. Like they're actually like really, really nice.
Well, just as long as you cut the head off of a 4-armed monster, you're good in their book.
True. Well, I mean,
then you can gain their respect.
It shows strength, which is respect.
Yeah. No, I'm just really enjoying this series, whether it be because of the chemistry between Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. I just think Tamora Morrison and Ming-Na Wen just have great chemistry on screen. Yeah. I like what's being developed there. It's really, really fun, man. And it's giving the main thing is they're just continuing to drive home this character development with Boba Fett in general. Me being a guy who hasn't been a Boba Fett fan before, before Mandalorian season 2, I like Boba Fett, also, but I just didn't love him like a lot of people.
I mean, we just didn't. That's one thing too, is that Boba Fett only got 6 minutes of screen time in 2 movies.
Yeah,
and like the only words we ever heard, like he only said phrases in like one scene in both in like a couple of scenes of both movies, and that's really all we got.
Yeah,
him. So we didn't really get much of him. So that's like the main reason why I didn't really like him that much, because we didn't really get much of him. But with him in season 2 of Mandalorian and with his own show now, he's definitely growing on me. He's one of my favorite characters now to this day.
Yeah. And I know so many people will attack me and be like, what about the legends? It's like, I'm not talking about the legends. I'm trying to talk about the current canon iteration of Boba Fett. Jose is very right. In 2 movies, we got like 6 minutes of screen time of him. And in Clone Wars, we did get an episode or 2 with him. And so that was...
Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Legends, it's Boba Fett.
Nice. See? So there's some Legends stuff out there for sure, but this is a new, different canon iteration. So I'm talking specifically the canon iteration of Boba Fett. There's not much for it. And that Clone Wars episode where he's going after Mace Windu, that stuff was good. I just needed more of it, so that was good in the current canon. But other than that, we just never really got this massive development, because even after he went after Mace Windu, he just got annoying in the Clone Wars to me. So it was like, so like as a child, he was annoying. I'm sorry. And then you have the Attack of the Clones scene with him as a child, where he literally gets to say, yeah, sure. So there's nothing to this current canon iteration of Boba Fett. And then now, starting with the Mandalorian season 2, that brilliant episode Robert Rodriguez directed to just give respect to the character. I love it now, and I'm so on board, and I'm just really excited to see where this story goes. And I like the mafia elements. It's something I can relate to, being a big mob movie guy. I can relate to
mob show guy.
Mob show guy, Sopranos, shout out. But yeah, and it's cool, man. It's cool. It's Sopranos and Star Wars, and it's something I've always wanted to see. It's just now I'm seeing it, and it's awesome. I'm liking this show a lot. Is it as good as Mandalorian? It also
gives me like a Western vibe too.
Western.
Boba Fett shows like a Western mafia type show.
Well, the last episode was, a mix between Seven Samurai and Dances with Wolves, and I just enjoyed that influence. I thought that just really came forward in there, and so I was really digging that as well, man. I think that really works for it.
Yeah, what I really like too is what they do in the show is the way they shoot, like the different perspectives, like showing Boba Fett with like his gang, and then you have like any other bad guys that he faced and their gang is kind of like a Western shootout type standoff,
Yeah.
which I really like as well. And when they do those kind of like shots in the show.
Yeah. And I like the attitude of Boba, man. He kind of wants to do what he wants to do.
He's a badass. He exudes badass too.
He does.
Like he's like, I'm in charge now. You do what I say.
Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of fans complaining and saying like, "Oh, he's not badass enough yet." It's like, okay, just be patient. We're gonna build to that. But I know people want to see Boba Fett unhinged. I definitely think we're gonna get it. It's just we got to build to it. So.
I mean, we still have 4 episodes left, so we're definitely gonna get into it.
Oh, 4? No, it's 7 episodes. You're right. We got 4
Yeah,
left.
4.
So
Yeah.
So we got time. And so if people are patient, we will get Boba Fett unhinged. I'm excited. I think that they are going to take that Josh Trank script. At one point, Josh Trank was doing a Boba Fett movie, and I think that they are taking that and they're going to iterate some of that into the show, and I think that's going to be cool to see. And I also know that like James Mangold was developing a Boba Fett thing at one point too, and that's exciting because James Mangold, who did Logan, you don't think we're going to get Boba Fett unhinged? I mean, I think they are going to take some of those ideas and they're going to take some of Mangold's ideas and incorporate them here. Mangold obviously has a really good relationship with Disney or Lucasfilm right now, seeing as how he's doing Indiana Jones 5. So I think that, it's going to be fun to see, Boba Fett unhinged. I definitely think we're getting there. And so for the fans that are just being impatient, just be patient. That's all I can really say about it, man. I mean, the other thing I would say too, I love about the series is the grittiness, the rawness of it. It is a little bit more of a serious tone for Mandalorian. Not that Mandalorian was like overly jokey, but this does feel just slightly more serious. I'm not saying I like it better than Mandalorian.
I think it's also because Boba Fett is just more of a serious kind of darker character than Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because Mando, I mean at first Mando, like in the first episode, Mando was pretty like badass and dark because he was just carbon freezing people and sending them off.
Yeah.
But ever since he met Grogu and had to, actually started getting feelings from him, he started getting a little softer in that aspect. Yeah. Whereas with Boba Fett, he's kind of just like, well, I mean, my family was taken from me, and so now I'm gonna come back here and just be a badass and dark and just control this area that Jabba used to control.
I like that about it too. That's a really good point you bring up, because even though Favreau developed both the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and his style is all over it without a doubt. I mean, you can still see Favreau's style all over the show. He's doing a really good job distinguishing the two characters. I mean, both are Mandalorian in their own right. Now we know that from Mandalorian season 2, so they're both Mandalorian. So it could be really easy to just make the same show again, and it doesn't feel like they're doing that. And it feels like he's doing a really good job distinguishing. Boba Fett is nothing like Din Djarin, He's a completely different character, and we're going to show you why and how, even though they're both bounty hunters, they're both of the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian,
the Mandalore
gene pool, I guess. I don't know, but either way, well, not really Din Djarin. Din Djarin kind of joined the creed, right? And so, as he said, so. But either way, they're just doing a good job where it could be really easy to just make two very similar shows.
Right.
While the style is there, Favreau's doing a great job developing this so differently and giving you a nice contrast.
And also getting them to work so well together in the show. Well, in the episode that Boba Fett was with Mandalorian, and if Mandalorian, is ever in episodes of Boba Fett, them work like the fact they can work so well together, even though they're like opposite kinds of characters, is incredible to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it does leave open that opportunity that if Din Djarin crosses over at this point, it's not going to feel like we're just getting two of the same, exactly.
Right.
It's going to feel really good to watch these two work opposite one another. And I'm excited. Does anybody think Din Djarin's not going to enter this show, at least
No, he is 100%.
At some point, because I feel like there is going to be some crossover.
Like
there.
whether it's in these any of these future 4 episodes or in the next season, I mean, one way or another, Din Djarin's going to be in this show.
Yeah.
100%.
Pedro Pascal, here's $100 million for 2 hours of line recording. Okay, great. You know, it's like it's
For
whatever.
real?
Probably they probably pay these guys a lot of money, man. I mean, these
True.
shows.
I mean, it is Disney.
You look at
After
these
all, I mean,
budgets
they
on
have
these Star
money.
Wars shows, man. I mean, they're some of the most expensive shows ever made. So it's.
I mean, it's also
yeah.
Disney's got just money coming out their butt like it's nothing. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if
and they're making money like it's nothing too.
I don't know if it's $100 million, but it's more money than you and I will ever see. So that's
100%.
that's what they're paying him to come do 2 hours worth of whatever. So where he gets to sit down in his PJs or whatever and just talk. Easiest job in the world. So I think definitely we will see Din Djarin come in here, played by the great Pedro Pascal once again, and I think it will cross over. We have 4 episodes left. I don't see why not. So I think that's
honestly,
definitely within the plan, and it'll just make the world feel all the more connected. You know, they do a good job at that in the they've done a good job with the series, making them all feel connected. Like Mandalorian does feel very connected in with the animated stuff, the animated shows that they had done prior, and so I think they'll continue that trend.
It'd be cool to see how they integrate him in the show without, giving away too much from, obviously how season 2 ended of Mandalorian. It'd be cool to see how they incorporate Din Djarin in, if they do put him in any of these 4 episodes that we have left.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is there's going to be something that Boba Fett's going to need to do a job. He's going to need some help, and he knows a guy, And who's he
knows another bounty hunter. So
who you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters. You're calling Din Djarin, buddy, and that's going to be a lot of fun to see. So I'm excited,
seeing
man.
them work. Yeah, it's going to be fun seeing them work side to side again. Honestly,
yeah, I'm just.
I feel like the chemistry is like Pedro Pascal and Tamora Morrison have really good chemistry together.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic for the potential. I think Favreau is going to direct an episode 2, which I'm very excited to see. He did a great job with that first episode of Mandalorian season 2. Phenomenal job there.
Phenomenal.
I know Bryce Dallas Howard is coming in to do an episode. I loved her episodes of Mandalorian. I can't wait to see what she does and brings to it. And yeah, man. So I think from here on out, we're going to get at least a little bit more of the familiar tone with the new directors they're going to be bringing in. So that's exciting as well. And yeah, man, I mean, like I said, Favreau style still there, still present, but they've just done a good job distinguishing the characters.
He's just too talented, man. Favreau
he's a god, dude.
He's incredible.
He really is.
Yeah.
Star Wars god. This is the guy I want running the ship. I mean, honestly, if we're being real, I mean, I don't want to get too whatever political.
Political. I was gonna say too Star Wars political.
Yeah, but like I'm being honest. Like if I had to pick a predecessor, and again, Kathleen's doing good stuff right now. I think she's doing okay. If the stuff that if Obi-Wan and what's the other, Andor live up to the potential, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy, all for. But we'll see. We got to get to that point, but I think that
she's trying to pull off a 12 episode for a season of a series, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and if it lives up to that potential, man, I mean, I think we're going to see the narrative start to change on Kathleen Kennedy if all this stuff starts to really do well. But outside of that, it's I would like to see Favreau steer the ship if they're going to do a leadership.
Honestly, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think
he would just know how to run it so perfectly. Honestly,
you watch those behind the scenes things with him, and he's got the mentality of a studio head. He's got the executive mentality.
Yeah, I mean the when he was talking like in the makings of for the Mandalorian seasons, man, he's just he knows it. He's just the best, man. He's the best of the best.
I mean, it's just so important to recognize that he can do the thing that Kathleen Kennedy has failed to do thus far. The biggest thing she's failed to do, I should say, which is put the right people together to make the vision happen. And Favreau's been very good at that.
He's done with both. Well, he's done with Mandalorian, and he's doing right now with Book of Boba Fett. Honestly, he knows how to do it.
Yeah. And I think, you could argue Kathleen Kennedy picked Favreau. Sure, I'll give her the credit on that. And she picked Filoni and put those two together and, paired them up.
But I feel like Filoni was a no-brainer because, I mean, Filoni's he's too good, man.
He spent years not being in the position he's in now. And now he is. Now he's head of creative. So that's great. And she made that happen. But he spent years not being that, and it's too long not being in that position, too long not being consulted with, if you ask me, and how to do this right. But hey, man, look, it's Star Wars, and it's all good when it's Star Wars. I mean, you know,
True.
I really just like having new Star Wars. I don't really care. I mean, even the bad stuff, you know, I can find some good in. So that's the great things about Star Wars, man.
Yeah, look, even the bad stuff can make us laugh, which is a good thing.
Yeah, man, I find some good in the bad, and that's the nice thing about Star Wars, and bringing it full circle to the beginning here. I mean, it's you know, something different when we're watching something Star Wars. You know, doesn't matter what it is. Even when I was a little child going into the Phantom Menace, you know, it's like I was probably bored to death. I don't know, but I knew that when I walked into that theater, it was my first Star Wars theater experience, that something was different in the room, something was different in the air, you know, from when I'd been to the theater before.
You just don't get the honestly, you don't get that with any other franchise or film.
Absolutely
honestly,
not, man.
And you know, being in a theater room with people who share the same like as you, like with Star Wars, and the same thrill and nerdiness of it is just incredible.
Yeah.
To be in a room full of people who also enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is going to happen? You know, we're doing all this post Return of the Jedi stuff because, you know, they want to make money, man. I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. And we're doing all these post Return of the Jedi stories that are all connecting together, and it's all become a one big thing. They're going to build up to Grand Admiral Thrawn, I think, as the villain, and I'm excited to see that finally come to fruition. And I think once all is said and done, they're all going to come together for one big movie. I think that's how they're going to make their $1 billion in the theater again. And you better believe when they do that, you got a movie with Ahsoka, Din Djarin, Boba Fett, Fennec Shand. Everybody's in this movie. Grand Admiral Thrawn, all going to fight Grand Admiral Thrawn's great army.
That movie's gonna break the world.
Exactly, and so, dude, I think they're doing it right. I think that's where they're going, and that's, you know, that's going to be their Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, that's gonna be how they do it, and that's my prediction for right now. But we'll leave it there. But yeah, you know, good episode here, good first episode. I like doing this here. And this has been fun.
I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, this is yeah, definitely something I've been dying to do for a while. I'm glad we have it, and I can't wait to do it again next week. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, dude. And thanks for sitting down and talking Star Wars as always.
Look, anytime, bro. You know that Star Wars, like you, it's my life. It's what I'm invested in right now. As you can tell, I've got all these books that I need to read, so it's my life right now, man.
Yeah. Look, guys, honestly, let us know, because we are such Star Wars heads. We're very open to suggestion when it comes to Star Wars, in the world of Star Wars. So if there's something you would like to see incorporated into the show, if there's a book you think we should read, if there's a comic you think we should read, if you want to hear our opinions on a certain comic that maybe we haven't read, or book, or whatever, or any sort of Star Wars content, a fan film, what it may be, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think of the vibe of the show. Do you like it? Is this something you will be revisiting? I think we had a lot of fun doing this today. I do dig the vibe here personally, but we really need to know what you guys think. What would you like to see incorporated to Imperial Order, or Imperial Order Podcast as it is? So you got to let us know down there in the comments below. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So, but yeah, Jose and I will do our best to accommodate at that point, and we're going to just keep having fun here. So I thank everybody for joining, and thank you, man, for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, and for, you know, sitting down here and having us just chat about what we love so much.
Absolutely, dude. It's fun, man. We're finally here. I think this is something we both just knew needed to happen on this channel. It's just we don't have a home for Star Wars yet.
We've had it prolonged for so long, and now that it's finally here, I'm glad.
Me too, man. Can't wait to do more of it for sure. But yeah, buddy, where can people find you before we take off here?
You can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, all lowercase, all together.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_, and on Instagram, Dom_Martino_ official. Make sure you follow the Anorax pages on Twitter and Instagram. It's Anorax official across both platforms. And guys, the show will be on Spotify. I'm so excited to bring Imperial Order to Spotify. Spotify is a great home for those of you who can't have a video up all the time. Maybe you're driving in the car, pull up your Spotify. Imperial Order will always be there waiting for you every week. So hopefully you guys do go over there, follow, rate, review, do all that. So thank you very much for joining, and check it out. And yeah, guys, I've been Dom Martino. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit the bell for notifications. We appreciate it. This has been Imperial Order. We'll see you guys later.